What's going on, everyone? Huntress Rebel Outdoors, and I'm a real overlander again. So as you can see, I've been rather busy doing a couple different things to the Jeep, and we're going to talk about it. You know what's cooler than having a stubby bumper? Having an actual winch on a stubby bumper. I know on the last video I said I was going to go with an Overland Vehicle System SCAR winch, but between Amazon and some other deals, getting a 13K winch for 200 bucks cheaper just kind of made sense. Especially when I know a couple guys that actually really get after it that use this winch and have put it through a lot. So I was convinced, and I'm kind of being a little cheap if you can't tell, or you will be able to tell from the rest of this video. I just ended up ripping off these little red tow hooks, that way I can get that cool Rubicon accent. Pretty simple install. Now, of course, with any winch you get, you want to unspool it and actually spool it back under tension, so I have to do that. This is definitely going to be the winch I stay with, obviously. But one thing I would like to change out is the fairlead and get one of those, I think Yankum Rope makes them, so that way you can completely get rid of all the metal and just have it be synthetic. I just kind of cheese-balled the power right up over the air box into the battery. Remember how I just said I was going to be super cheap? This bed rack, 300 bucks. Can obviously tell the powder coat is pretty cheap and all the pieces are made of steel, so the heaviness definitely sucks, but pretty neat little overall design. It's a mid-height, which is but we'll talk about that in a little bit. But honestly, for 300 bucks, it'll work. Now on this side, I just plan on putting a couple monkey fists to run a shovel on the side, and that'll probably be about it for now. And then of course, like every other basic overlander, I have a Rotopax on here, which I've actually had this thing forever, and I've been using actual like jerry cans, well, one because I had a decent lot of room, a lot of payload, all those fun things. And on the Jeep, obviously with being a smaller vehicle, I've been on this weird like lightweight compact kind of hunch for doing all different things in the outdoor world. So definitely going to be paying a lot of attention to different weights and things of that sort. Definitely another thing I like about the mid-sizes is it kind of forces you to pack smarter. One area to definitely compromise in weight savings is the front bumper, because this is steel. And obviously I haven't had my Jeep for a while because it took a hit to the front. But I will eventually be getting a really cool steel aluminum hybrid stubby bumper in the bed rack again. This is just only temporary, so I could chuck a rooftop tent up on here. Especially with this thing being steel and not having a good powder coat, I'm honestly kind of worried for the winter time, but I guess we'll see. Hopefully I don't have to go the whole winter time with it on, and we'll just give it away to somebody. But because the top of this rooftop tent is about as smooth as my brain, I decided to just get some cheap little crossbars. That way I could mount the solar panel, and then as soon as I'm done filming this, I'll be building a little power box that will go inside the bed. And that'll kind of just sit in that little corner. That way I can plug my camera in when I'm at camp, and more importantly the fridge, because I like cold drinks. And this is the Inspired Overland Super Light rooftop tent. This isn't mine. This is actually a friend of mine's. He's letting me use this for the time being so I can kind of try it out, because I've been, again, on this super kick of lightweight stuff and minimizing space and utilizing space to the utmost importance. Yeah, so I'm thinking about doing a wedge tent, so I'm gonna try this out and see how I like it. I will eventually be doing a whole video while I have this thing of like an overview, and then also kind of what my thoughts are about it once I get some time in it, of course. So yeah, that's pretty much all I got going on right now. I just a real quick go over it. So it does have this open thing. I'm assuming they have it like this to drain, but the windows on this thing are actually pretty huge, and they actually have ports down there to where you can put a diesel heater in. Hopefully I won't need this during the winter time, but you know, in case I need it, they got it. I also have two different shoe bags that roll up nicely, like that one is. The ladder, you can go on any side or the rear back here. And honestly, I really like the placement of this ladder. Like, I don't think that could be any more perfect than where I would want it. You know, in case you have like one of those little table things, you're doing stuff off the tailgate. One problem that I'm gonna have, this is gonna be an issue. I will probably hit my head on this a lot. Does have some internal storage, things like that, but not a bad tent for the money for sure. And I have slept in this tent once so far. This was like 2 Februaries ago. It was super cold, and Joey and I had like super big sleeping bags, so it was pretty cramped in there. Looks like the weather for court will be pretty nice, so I'm looking forward to that. Fast forward to the next day, we do have the shovel on, and I wanted to show you guys kind of the general layout of this little power box. So we got the 100 amp hour Renogy Bluetooth battery, and then up top there we have the solar charger, 1000-watt inverter, and plugged into that, a little hole back there, run some cords, is a Milwaukee M18 M12 charger, and then that is also powering the fridge. And then one thing I did add was this little Blue Sea guy here, to where you can get 12 volt, and then these two just have USBs on the side, because this thing will basically get shoved back to that corner. So that is a little overview of everything we got going on here. A lot of it's not permanent stuff, but at the same time, I'm pretty glad to have things set up the way they are, especially to where I can get out and go do a lot of solo stuff and not really have to worry about anything. So when this video comes out, core will be the following week, so not that upcoming week, but the week after that. So I will be leaving a little early to go do some adventuring with a buddy of mine prior to core, and then of course the event itself, I will be filming all of that, so be sure to stay tuned for that. And I absolutely cannot wait to get this thing out, do some camping with it. I'm gonna try to get out either this upcoming weekend or kind of earlier in this week, just do some little test runs, so I'll probably end up doing some kind of a video for that. If you guys want to see some more Jeep content, be sure to hit the subscribe button, like this video if you're excited for all the things we got coming up this year. I know I certainly am. Hit the little bell notification, you get notified I post videos every Sunday. If you want to support the channel on a little bit more personal needs, get some background, stuff like that, and go ahead and check out the Patreon. Until then, we'll catch you guys in the next one.